I'm a big fan of independent media. Reporting what's going on is always positive for the public, so thanks for what you're doing. And we need accountability. All the government needs to be held accountable.
Just like you enjoy playing the cross.
I enjoy what?
Playing cross? Playing cross?
Playing cross?
Alright guys, so I did a public data request back in August, and here is a picture of the email I sent. So on the follow-up to this email, I was told from the sergeant that Alex is handling it, and any further updates or contacts need to be made to Alex. And if you've watched the channel, you see how that usually goes with our interactions. But here is the phone call that I made today, October 17th, and I talked to Alex. Hey Alex, it's Jason. Hey, I was just wondering how the data practice, or the data that I requested is coming, because I haven't heard anything.
We're working on them. We told you we're working on them, and we're working on them.
I've only gotten an email response from Timothy, and he said it's been turned over to you and further contact should be handled by you, so that's why I'm calling.
Yep, we're working on them. We'll get them to you as soon as we can.
Do you have a date? Because it's been like a month, and most agencies get back within, a week or two.
I don't have one right now, sorry.
Can you tell me how far you are in the process?
I don't have that off the top of my head. I'd have to look.
Well, because one of them is for you, and it's kind of weird because it's your.
Right, so I'm gonna end this conversation. I'll give you the response. So we're working on the practice. We'll get it to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, but I need a date.
But as soon as we can get it finished, we'll get it to you. I'm not able to give you a date at this time, so you're gonna have to accept that answer.
Okay, well, but you can't tell me how far you are in the
All right,
process.
we're gonna end this conversation now. Thank you.
Well, there we go. That was the phone call with no results. And as you can see in the copy of the email, actually, it was August 28th when I made the data request and have gotten zero response from Alex at all on any of this data request. And again, you remember this statement by Bob?
And we need accountability. All the government needs to be held accountable.
So I did go in to try to talk to Bob yet again about the actions of Alexander Mark Graham, about the night that he proceeded to try and do a traffic stop, and then Bob lied about everything to his viewers. And this is the video that concluded from me going up there to try and file an IA complaint.
I don't know how.
Hey, what's going on, big guy?
Hey Bob, how's it going?
What do you got, data practices request?
Oh, absolutely not. An IA complaint.
I complaint.
Unless you want to talk, and
Against who?
who do you think?
Alex?
Why would it be against Alex?
Because you always are talking about Alex, and you swear at him, and you call him bad names.
Well, he's the one committing crimes.
Well,
How do you do a traffic stop when someone's parked on the side of the road?
file your complaint.
You don't want to talk about that, Bob?
I have nothing to say to you, my friend.
Did you direct him to do that?
I have nothing to say to you. And we need accountability. All the government needs to be held accountable.
Well, there you go. That's how the interaction went with Bob. You can see in one, when he's doing his little video and he's in control of everything, he puts on this persona that all government should be held accountable. But you see, when I tried to hold government accountable, his government, he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to try to resolve it. He doesn't want to work through it. He doesn't want to work with the community, which is kind of sad. This whole interaction happened on the 3rd floor of the law enforcement center. And if you remember, when I was up there to do my interaction, when I went there during the open house, which every single open house I've went to has had no issues with me recording. You've seen what happened when they told me I can't record on the 3rd floor. Obviously, I'm recording on the 3rd floor. So let's get some more lies, right?
Plus 115 to back on a civil 6335 date in the upper unit. Caller in their ex.
So welcome back, Cedars.
After she stepped outside for a moment.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, 52 minutes. 129 Tango.
Just want to point out that we're big advocates of freedom of this press, but sometimes people go beyond what is legal.
So let's break that down for a minute. Bob said, what is legal? Well, it is completely legal to do what we're doing. That is exactly why we were never charged with a crime. Myself or Steve were charged with a crime because what we were doing is 100% legal. It's been ruled upon numerous times with the Supreme Court. Filming government officials, including law enforcement, is 100% legal. And that's how you get your information.
It's a freedom of this press.
So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you can hear almost an echo. That is them either tuning into my channel or Steve's channel to hear and see what is going on. So it's ironic that they will actually watch our channel or Steve's channel to see what we're filming to get information, right?
And in front of us there is that Capitol Transparency car.
All right, just to go over this a little bit, we're going to do a full video breakdown of this entire incident, but you can tell that's my truck. The running joke because of the comments we were getting after Bob told people to come over and, you know, tell us what they think off his false narration of what was going on, to tell us what they think. But this the ironic thing is we call it my stepdad's truck, but it's obviously my truck. That's how far gone he is.
And of course they've been monitoring our frequencies,
which again is 100% legal, and multiple people do that all over the country,
and rebroadcasting what are confidential information.
So again, confidential information on public, non-encrypted radio traffic. How is that illegal?
And jeopardizing the safety of every law enforcement officer and the safety of this investigation.
So again, that's Bob's opinion, which is not fact. You can watch the whole thing on my live stream that clearly shows their inability and incompetency to actually do their job because they let two of the suspects drive away. It was all captured on my live stream. I think Steve cut some of it on some of his video as well. But he wants to spin the narrative that it was our fault for sitting there parked on the side of the road where he was parked actually originally. And they completely botched their own investigation.
And, you know, you have to either have permission to monitor police frequencies or an amateur radio license, which will investigate and determine if either occurs.
So that's a complete lie. Anyone can use a scanner and listen to it. You don't need a permission slip. You don't need a ham license to do that. In the state of Minnesota, you do have to have that if you're inside a vehicle. The state statutes actually very clear as mud on that. We're going to break that down when we do a whole breakdown on this video. I don't want this to go too long, but that is a complete lie. And he's spewing lie after lie after lie out of his mouth for his own audience, which is extremely sad, and has convinced other people like MN, Crime Watch Minneapolis, to actually block me on Twitter and put out a tweet spewing Bob's own echo chamber out, which is really sad because Bob talks about echo chambers and cults of personalities, which that's what he's creating with his Live on Patrol channel on Facebook and YouTube. So, needless to say, I'm not going to go much further into this. The video is kind of getting long. I didn't want to do a whole long video on this, but I did want to cover some of what is going on. The phone number there is Deputy Alexander Mark Graham. We will start. I'm going to start doing more breakdown videos of these incidents, and to kind of give you guys a replay of why there's an issue with Ramsey County, why we are where we are with things, certain deputies that are not changing, that is only getting worse and being covered up. Other agencies are doing phenomenal. I brag about how they're doing. You know, it's very individual based, but most of these agencies are trying really, really hard to change, listen to their community, and doing what the community wants. Very, very hard, and it's been a change. Sometimes it's a bigger struggle, sometimes it's not. But showing the truth to people is what journalism's supposed to be. And what I feel that is what people want to see. I mean, obviously I have over 16,000 followers on TikTok, over 16,000 on YouTube, and almost 2,000 on Twitter. So needless to say, I want to thank you for being here, and we're going to start doing more breakdown videos on these. The editing process is kind of slow. I'm not a big fan of editing. Once you kind of get into it, you like it, but live streams are live streams. There's no editing, there's no changing, there's no taking back. What happens, happens. So again, I want to thank all of you for being here, watching, subscribing. Please share, and let's get the channel to grow. Thank you again. Jason with Minnesota News Now out.
But you also you have to use good judgment in not obstructing.
Deputies, they work for you.
Reporting what's going on is always positive for the public.
Deputies, they work for you.
Reporting what's going on is always positive for the public.
Deputies, they work for you.
Reporting what's going on is always positive for the public.